G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 8 of my Lightning Eye of Reckoning Archon playthrough. This episode we are going to continue up the, well, not really the coast anymore, continue over the mountains and up towards Fort Ikon. Before we do that, however, I do have some quests to turn in here, so I've got my 4 Chthonic Seals of Binding. Also, in between episodes, I turned in a bunch of quests around Homestead. So we have only the, is it Kymon? Did we side with Kymon? I think we did. Where are we? Yeah, with Kymon's chosen. So we got a few quests to turn in for them. So I'm going to go do that now. And we are going to be taking a little detour from the main story, because I need some new pants. So we're going to go fetch some new pants. But that will come after we do a few more quests for Kymon's chosen, or at least turn a couple in. So, here's your seals. What do you need? What must be done? I have already killed Bolvar. What must be done? I will eliminate Ravok. Okay, let's go get Ravok, or Ravok. And then we will start the Hidden Path questline, because like I said, I need some new pants. Not that the pants I have are particularly bad, but I am planning on dropping the Fox. If we open the devotions here, I have the Fox here. And the main reason for this is the 6% attack damage converted to health. I've got a little bit over here on the Toad, but that's kind of it at the moment. And I don't have the healing online from Wayward Soul over here yet. I don't have the Tortoise yet. I'd like to keep a little bit of extra lifesteal. And the best way to do that, or at least the easiest way to do that, is to go and get a set of Soleil Sec pants. And Soleil Sec pants are just generally good to have anyway. So that's the plan. Also, I'd like to point out that I successfully remembered all the pets this time. So, +1 for me. I'm sure I'll lose that +1 point next episode. Or I'll unequip something and then put it back on and forget to resummon them. But for now, I'm up. 1 point on the board. Okay, so, we're heading in here to kill Ravok. And the Order of Death's Vigil, like I said before, does a lot of cold damage and a decent amount of vitality damage as well. Which, fortunately, we have almost capped both of those. I'm confident enough that that my 3% uncapped vitality resistance will be fine. Also, I do have a ring adornment, or a ring component, that I could use to completely cap that, and I just haven't done it, so maybe go and do that here in a minute. Also, we did hit 42, and pretty much everything's going into Raging Tempest, and aha! That's 2 points for me. Yeah, we want the resistance shredding here. The more the merrier, and it's just good to have. So resistance shredding is the easiest way to scale your damage in this game. And so getting more of it is pretty much always good. There are times when getting more of it might be bad. For example, it costs too much. But from the skill tree, it's always good to get more. There's pretty much never a time where you don't want to get more points into one of these. Having said that, you may run into a situation where you have a build that is very, very starved for points. And maybe you've got, let's say you've got +3 to all shaman skills. You would just put 9 points in Raging Tempest and have the 3 points bring it up to 12, and that's probably good enough. Okay, so Master Ravok is dead. We took his hat. Speaking of his hat, let's have a look at it. That's not the one I was thinking it was. Yeah. It's actually not horrible. It's not particularly good either, but it's not horrible. We'll get some flat elemental damage. 2 to 3 of that flat elemental damage is going to be lightning. And then we get some elemental damage percentage, some cunning, energy regen. It's about the same armor. I mean, I'm not going to swap it because, well, chaos resistance, but it could be alright. Let's go turn this one in, and at some point here, there's going to be a quest that I'm going to skip, and, okay, I'll speak to him now. And I think it's after this one. This one should be the Ashes. What is Empyrean's Will? Yeah, so this is the ashes. We are going to do this, but right now we are going to be taking a quick detour back to Devil's Crossing. Right, hang on. Couple of things to do first. Can I actually get into this section yet? No, not yet. Okay. How is that sealed by Father Kymon? I killed him. He's dead. Can't seal anything. Anyway, that's fine. Let's sell all of this. Did I actually already get that devotion shrine in the Blood Grove? I can't remember. Let's have a look at the map. I think it's going to show me having walked past it anyway. Hang on, gone the wrong way. Yeah, it's explored. Let's go check. I don't want to miss it. I think I've already got it, but... well, actually, easy way to check. I do not already got it. Okay. Let's go get it. I have the Chthonic Seal for it now, so it should be no issue at all. Let's get a little bit of a move on here. Not really interested in killing any of these goons, but they are kind of in the way. Bolvar as well, I'll probably ignore if I find him. He's just too tanky. Yep, there he is. It's definitely good chat there, Bolvar. Alright, here's my devotion shrine. Thank you very much. And I'm out. So, back to Devil's Crossing here. I guess we should spend our devotion point first. A little bit of extra offensive ability. Crit chance now is up to 9.8%. I think that's actually down from last time I checked it. I think we've gained a few extra levels since then. That's fine. Right, so... the Hidden Path. Now, the Hidden Path is one of those quests that you are just not going to know about unless you've looked up a guide or something like that. You're almost certainly not going to find this. This is the worst rock in the entire game. You're almost certainly not going to know about this unless you have prior knowledge. I certainly didn't find this myself, so yeah, maybe. But just down here, and you can see there's nothing over here. You can maybe see the dynamite from somewhere over here, can you? I don't know. I don't think so. But we've got to go off the map here. You can see we're off the map. Here's the detonation site. 2 dynamite, and we go in here. Now, this section, you are going to need capped poison and acid resistance, and if you can get more, then do. More as in plus maximum rather than just having extra overcap. Because as you can see, there's a lot of poison in this place. Pretty much everything here does poison damage and dies and leaves poison clouds on the ground. It's generally not a good time if you don't have pretty good poison acid res. And we are just gonna go straight up the side here. Kill off all of the bugs. Flow cricks here. Dead cricks more like. Alright, and I'm just gonna clear the area a little bit before we go ahead and aggro the Guardian of Dreeg. And you might think it would hurt to kind of rub your face against a spiky quill rat like that, but apparently it's fine. And he will drop you a set of MI pants. Now, as far as I know, there are only 3 non-Nemesis MI pants in the entire game, and they all come from this quest line. So, the first ones are going to be the Dreeg Sect. Now, Vigorous of Oleron's Wrath, these are not bad, just looking at the resistances. The Dreeg Sect pants are basically regen bonus pants that come with some extra resistances. So they're okay, and they're probably even better than the pants I'm wearing at the moment. Slight loss in armor is probably the only thing I really care about there. Would get a little bit of resistances, so I may end up using those. But the pants I actually want, and don't forget to grab this and the lore note, but definitely the runestone we need. But the pants I actually want are all the way over here in the Broken Hills. And this is a run that if you make any kind of melee character, you are going to be well and truly sick of making this run by the time your character is done. Because if you want specific affixes on a pair of Soleil Sect pants, which a lot of melee builds want, you're going to be running out here 50, 60, 70, 100 times just to kill this one boss. and it gets incredibly dull. That's alright, just means I know the way. So it's just over here. There's a bunch of different ways you can go. You can come up and around and down this way, and I say I know the way. Here I am going the wrong way. But yes, there are a couple of different ways you can get here. This way, if I had gone the correct way, this way is the fastest. So you go down here, and it's actually kind of around this way, and yeah. I know where I'm going. You're the one who's lost. Okay, now we're back on the correct path. There's usually a decent amount of beast-type heroes here, and with the 1.2.1 change, Chupacabra can spawn through here, so just kind of keep an eye on your beast reputation here. Obviously in normal you're going to struggle to get anywhere near Nemesis, but coming through here in Ultimate, there's a pretty good chance that you will have Nemesis with the beast by that point. Okay, there's going to be stuff spawning behind me. I'm going to largely ignore it. And we are going to just fight the Guardian of Soleil. Now, this guy has killed multiple of my characters. And the way he does it is by putting goop on the ground. And that purple goop will stack up underneath you. That's... I mean, by the time I mentioned it, it was probably 1 stack. But this gets 2, 3, 4 stacks of damage underneath you. And if you're just standing in place... It builds up very, very quickly. Okay, so we picked up another Law Note, and we've got the Soleil Sect leg guards. Now, Vigorous of Ruin is kind of bad. I won't lie, it's kind of bad. But the reason we want these pants is 6% of attack damage converted to health, and then there's a few other minor bonuses as well. For me, I'm kind of happy with that. I will be losing a decent chunk of armor, but I'll be losing a little bit of health as well. But gaining resistances, which is good. So, I'm going to chuck that on. That is going to get me a little bit more attack damage converted to health. And that's going to make me a little more comfortable with removing the fox. Now granted, the fox is not amazing except for the lifesteal. And I do have other sources of lifesteal, but 20% is a nice number. Nice round number. Alright, let's bank these components and have a look at those quests. Alright, what do we got? Inquisitor Creed at Fort Ikon. We've got Calderis. Okay, we're kind of halfway to Calderis, so I'm going to go talk to him now. And I may as well get the Devotion Shrine in there as well, since... like I said, we've kind of ran halfway there already. Ordinarily, I skip this. I will do kind of a cleanup run at the end of normal, where I go to all these devotion shrines and things that are out of the way, and I pick up a lot of them. This would normally be one of those, but as I said, we're halfway there already. And that is quite literally the only reason I'm doing this. If I had noticed that quest and my Rift Gate was not still in the Guardian of Soleil's little house there, I would have ignored it and just kept going. Alright, a couple more heroes, which I like. Having all my damage reflected back at me is not really something I like, and Priests healing the thing I'm trying to kill I really don't like. Okay, let's talk to Calderis here. Oligarchs are gone. I'm not going to accept the quest to kill Zarthuzalan, because I don't really want to kill him. I'm just here for the Devotion Shrine and maybe a treasure trove, depending on where it spawns, and if I happen to walk past it. First place to check is just here. No treasure trove, so we'll just kill off Storm Shriek here, and be on our way. Probably should stop spinning and actually get a move on here. Okay, Chillheart the Frozen, that's fine, we can kill him. Another piece of the Perdition set, as soon as you don't need it, it's everywhere. Dare you to make a character that actually wants the set, though. Actually, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't wish that evil on anyone. Alright, next floor. Yeah, we just more or less move through here. Ignore everything. This is kind of where I get the treasure trove most of the time. There it is. It's probably just me remembering things weird, but I seem to get this one a lot. But anyway, treasure trove collected. There is an exalted stash down here as well. I think you can find the exalted stash before the skeleton key door, but don't quote me on that. Alright, one more floor to go. I'm just here for the devotion shrine at this point, and anything else is, yeah, it's nice, but that's not why I'm here. Okay, so devotion shrine, you see it on the map over there. We're gonna go get it. Priests have got to die. The rest of the stuff I don't really care about, but we'll do a bit of a sweep through it anyway. Clearing the area before totems and or devotion shrines is usually a good idea in hardcore. Rune carved a frostbite on that battle axe. Pretty good. Okay, devotion shrine collected. We can leave now. I'm going to do a quick run along the bottom here, just check for that exalted stash. We're just going to pretend I didn't try and run through a wall. We'll go around here. You can also find the treasure trove down here. I think it's kind of in here is one of the places it can be. And then over against this wall in this section, sort of along this edge here. I think this is another location where it can be. As far as the exalted stash goes, checking in these little wooden, or not wooden, water sections here. I think it's this first one. And then there's a couple of spots over this way as well. There it is. Oh, it's energy. I thought I was getting stunned. Running out of energy. Maybe I should put an ectoplasm back on that ring instead of a instead of the vitality resist. Vitality is still not capped. Ectoplasm might be the way though. Right, so I've got everything I wanted. Let's get out of here. Let's just bounce back up to Homestead. I'll go and raid my stash and just see if I have an ectoplasm. I'm 99% sure I will. By this point, I should have a small pile of them. What we got? You go down there. Got soul shards. Ectoplasm. Yeah, I've got 21 of them. Okay, that's fine. You could absolutely put another soul shard on there. Soul shard does absorb energy from enemy spells, so if you're getting hit by spells, you will absorb some of the energy from them. But the ectoplasm just gives you a bunch of extra energy, and then also increases your regen, so I'm gonna keep that one for now. I will swap that out later, more than likely for a soul shard, but for now, I want the energy. Alright, let's vendor all this rubbish, including that shield that I'm incredibly disappointed every time I see parts of it. Right, and it's time to head up the coast here. Now, we did Darkvale Gate last episode, so that means we have the run through the Astrakhan Road and or Valley. Or not and or, just and. And this part is a little bit boring. There's a few things to talk about, but mostly it's just a lot of running with a few combat encounters in between. Usually around this point in the playthrough, I'm always wishing that I'd taken a Blitz clone on my medal instead of the Rush ability, which normally I prefer Rush, but this little section here has a couple of really nice skips you can do with Blitz or with Shadow Strike, or one of the clones of those skills from the Augment skills. Childred here, I make a point of always killing Childred. Every time I come through this section, I murder him to death and I take his crystals. Because, as you know, can never have enough Aether Crystals. Alright, so the things you can point out in this section. You have the trip south, which is a bunch of lore notes, which I highly recommend anyone and everyone to read. If you're interested in Grim Dawn at all, a lot of the atmosphere of the game comes from these lore notes, and the trip south is definitely one of the better kind of series. So that's one thing we can talk about on this road here. I'm not going to actually read them for you. I would strongly recommend playing the game and reading them yourself. But if you don't want to play the game to this point, just to read a couple of lore notes, they are available online. So you can go ahead and look them up. I will just point out this monster here, its name is Sylvie, and this one is Nuana, and they feature in the trip south. So enjoy your read, or not. A lot of people don't really enjoy it. Also, if you're quick with the pause button, you can probably read the second and third entry there. So that's the major thing on the way. The other thing to talk about is the Bismiel Guardian. So we've already done the Soleil and the Drieg Guardians. The Bismiel Guardian is hidden under this bridge we're about to walk across. So since I'm in the area, we may as well go kill him. The Bismiel pants are pet pants, so unless you get really, really good affixes roll on it, you're almost never going to use them outside of a pet build. And only a pet leveling build generally. You would usually want to be using the Wild Shorn leggings. But I guess if you don't have those, these can be a good stopgap. And they are definitely good while leveling for a pet build. And sometimes you do get really good affixes. So I'm not expecting that, but yeah, maybe. Very unlikely considering the pants I'm wearing. How I went out of my way to get them specifically for the lifesteal that are only on those pants. But we'll see, So just come in down this way. You'll have a bunch of different eldritch animals spawning, and you can fight them or not, up to you. Also in this area, and this is going to be fun, I know Arcade Life loves this boss. There's a loose rock right here, and oh look, it opens a door up. Shall we go fight Rishalga? What do you think? Maybe we'll just go and look at Rishalga. So there's Rishalga, the Mad Queen. Rishalga herself is not super dangerous, but yeah, it's not really a fight that I'm interested in taking at this point. She is quite dangerous for a regular type boss. Like, she's not a Celestial or anything, but can be quite dangerous. So I generally don't fight her during the campaign. I'm pretty confident I could kill her, but I'm just not going to risk it. There's no reward there. Alright, so the Guardian of Bismiel, we'll go ahead and kill him. Mighty of Thorns, I'm not even going to look at the stats on them. I know it's no good. I will, however, go ahead and eat all of those, and we just got an attribute point, I think? Yeah, an attribute point. Let's resummon these. That's 3 points for me for this episode. And we'll hang on to these 3. I'll do the temple probably at the end, although I may skip the temple and just do it in ultimate. But for now, I'm not going to do the temple in this episode. Let's just fight our way out of here. Alright. So the rest of this run is kind of uneventful. There's a few things. There is the Tomb of Korvac. This part here, this part specifically is where I want a Blitz or a Shadow Strike. Because you can Blitz to this guy from about here. And your character will go all the way down here, underneath there, and hit that pig, wild boar, or whatever it is. This is actually, when you time it, saves you about 5 seconds. But it feels so good to do it. Right, so this Devotion Shrine over here is quest locked. We will actually need to be honored with the Rovers in order to start the quest. To be able to activate this Devotion Shrine, I almost always skip this entirely. Sealed by Chthonic Energies. Yep. We would need to go into very dangerous areas to collect quest items in order to actually do that quest. And there's a chance you misclick and Mogdrogan slaps you back to character select as well. So it is a little bit dangerous, and it's also quite a long quest. And it requires Honored with Rovers, which if you want to do it on normal, you're going to have to grind faction or come back later. It's just kind of not worth it to me, and I usually end up skipping it. There are plenty of devotion shrines in this game, and going out of your way to get this particular one just seems like a waste of time to me. Having said that, if you haven't done the quest, it is pretty fun. Decently challenging. You have to go into 2 different chthonic planes in 2 different areas in the game, collect a couple of quest items, and come back here, fight the devotion shrine itself, which has multiple waves. It's a pretty good quest. The other thing to note is just here, you have the Tomb of Korvac. This is a really good place to farm chthonic seals of binding. And also there is a boss at the end of it, one of the ghouls, who will drop you an MI medal that comes with chaos resistance. So that can be potentially an upgrade for the Kymon's badge. Kymon's, I'm pretty sure, comes with lightning damage baked into it though. So your mileage may vary, and you might want to just not bother. Okay, another devotion point there. I think I have 2 sitting waiting for me now, but I'll have a look in a second once Malice here is no longer putting goop on the ground. Okay, let's grab the loot, get out of the goop. And how many points we got? Yeah, it is 2. Okay. Wayward Soul on Mogdrogan's Pact. It doesn't matter which permanently active buff you use. I could use Presence of Virtue. Don't use Resilience. It's only up if you get to low health. And the other thing I'm going to do is finish up Chariot of the Dead. So I should be able to take this out now. So I think I needed the green to keep Rowan's crown. Yeah, we definitely can take the fox out now. So let's go and do that. And let me just have a quick look at the plan for where these points are going to go. I think they're going into the tortoise at this point. Definitely good to get the tortoise leveling. You have to have it bound for it to actually level. So I think we'll do that. Going to be, I think, 1 point short, 2 points short of getting the proc. So we need, yeah, we do need 1 point in yellow, and then we'll get 1, 2, and 3. Now, the tortoise, I use this in most of my builds, and the reason why is the proc here. When you get to 50% health or lower, this will put up a very large damage absorption shield. This is not 500 damage reduced off all incoming attacks like some of the other damage absorption things are. Generally speaking, if the number is big, as in larger than hundreds, then it's going to be a one-shot shield type thing, and once that's depleted, it's gone. And if the number is quite small, like for example down here on the Phoenix, you'll see, where is it? 16 damage absorption. That's going to be 16 flat damage taken off of every hit that you take while this is active. But this is really good as a kind of a death save or circuit breaker, and I take it on most of my characters. Also, I kind of want this foot. This used to have physical resistance on it. It's now got increased armor percentage, which is also quite good. So we will be working towards that. Next 2 points are going to go into completing the tortoise. And then after that, probably it's going to be the vulture. Probably. Let's just go ahead and vendor all these. Do I want this chest? Slight increase on armor, 3 to shattering smash that I'm not using. Piercing and aether resistance would be okay. Chance to avoid. Yeah, that's kind of so-so. It definitely would be a side grade, I'm going to call that one. Okay, we don't need that one either. Alright, awesome. So, back to the road to Fort Ikon. Now, Fort Ikon, you can stop on the way. Also, there's some loot in the wall over here. This one's always fun to get. Especially since we've just been doing the, where is it? There it is. Since we've just been doing the hidden path. There's, oh look, the hidden path. there's another lore note there about the hidden path, so if you want to read that, go ahead and pause. But, yeah, just a little bit of extra XP. And I always enjoy digging the loot out of the walls. Even though, as I've said just about every other time, you very rarely get anything good out of it, but it's just fun to do. Totem's not here, because I already did the one down here. But I still check it out of habit. Alright, so we're getting into the Fort Ikon area. In fact, it's literally Fort Ikon. And at this point in my playthrough, I like to just drop a rift. So I'll get to the bottom of the stairs, somewhere in this area, and I'll just press L to leave a rift there, and then continue on my way. Because if we go under that little gap there, that's the Tomb of the Archon, which we actually have a quest to go into and kill the kill Malkadar at the end to collect the ashes. So that's a Kymon's Chosen quest. I think that's going to be the last one I do for them. But XP is XP, right? Alright, here we are. We're coming up on the Black Legion camp here. Just going to clear the area. The rift gate that you can see on the map up here, this is a fight waiting to happen. It's a couple of waves of ethereals are going to come out of it, which is fine by me because they are made out of XP and some of them will have loot. Speaking of loot, I'm going to turn it off just for this. I tend to turn the loot off whenever there's going to be a lot of it on the screen. And this will often have multiple heroes. Looks like I'm only getting the one this time. Usually there's a hero mage here as well. Not today. And the loot is kind of pants. Flesh-warped pauldrons, no, sorry, flesh-warped plate mail is a pretty good MI while you're leveling for just pretty much everyone. This comes with armor percentage on the MI part. This one's resistant, which is going to be probably the lightning and pierce, I'm guessing. And then of the fox is going to be the stats there. But these are usually pretty good for resistances. Looks like pierce and chaos are the default, which means lightning and poison is coming from resistant there. The armor on these, unfortunately, is a little bit lower than the Devil's Chest Guard, and it doesn't have physical resistance. So I'm going to just not use it. But if you find a really good set, can be good. All right. Yes, absolutely, for sure. 100%. Okay, recovering supplies. This quest is a little bit unfortunate because that quest is going to cost you reputation with either the Black Legion, which is definitely not the one you want, or with Homestead, which unfortunately is the one that I'm going to use. Unfortunate for them. Will I actually lose standing with them or just a number? Yeah, so I'm not going to go back to, what is this, tolerated or whatever the first one is. Respected? No, we're already respected. Anyway, we're not going to go back. But we will lose reputation with Homestead when we turn that in. But we also gain reputation with the Black Legion, which is really nice. So from this point, I'm going to go back to my Rift Gate, and we are going to go and murder a whole bunch of Death's Vigil, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate. The Death's Vigil really are the good guys. Between the Death's Vigil and Kymon, the Death's Vigil are definitely the good guys, in spite of being the necromancers. Kymon's idiots are absolutely in the wrong. Alright, and we could probably just spin through this entire place, actually. I wonder, I want to test this, now that I'm thinking about it. So I have energy potions, and the drain on my energy pool is kind of low-ish, and I think I can spin forever at this point. As long as I time my energy potions correctly, I should be able to just keep spinning. Now this might be kind of contingent upon getting hit with the occasional spell, but that's fine. 10 seconds until the energy potion's back up. I think we're good. 5, 4, yeah, I think I think I can officially spin forever as long as I get hit by a few spells. Of course, spinning is going to reduce my run speed, which I don't love, but that is what it is. Okay, Dreadnought footpads. These are not an upgrade. Not really a downgrade either, they're just kind of more of the same. I believe that was an ancient totem, and we just kind of rubbed our face against it and everything died, so that's a good sign. It means we're doing enough damage to kill ancient totems now, which I like. Because ancient totems are a really good source of loot and pretty good for XP as well. Yeah, I'm making a special detour here just to kill that priest. Musiloki doesn't even exist in the game right now, and I'm still tormented by priests healing him up. Alright, we'll spin through here, and we're coming up on Malkadar here. There's a few more waves of trash to get through, but we'll get through it. Malkadar himself does a ton of cold damage. You can expect to be frozen at least a couple times in this fight, but honestly it's no big deal. Do I want the loose ends? Kind of do. It's free XP. Let's just go get it. It's kind of just laying on the floor here. Alright, the other thing I'm going to do is I am going to go down into the secret area and grab that devotion shrine. It is expensive. Costs an ancient heart, which is not a cheap component. Not a common component. But I think it'll be fine. Alright, anybody else want to play? You want to play, okay. There we go. Okay, so this little candelabra, I guess we'll call it, opens this door, and then we can go down there. What I'm going to do first, however, is I'm going to go in here. Oh, door wasn't too bad. A lot of the times this door won't actually open. Let's go ahead and spend these points in physique as well. And, yep, spent everything. Okay, Malkadar... What do we say about Malkadar? Cold damage, and can be a little scary, but... honestly, I'm not expecting a huge amount of issue. It's still Veteran, and Veteran is basically the tutorial for this game, so... I'm not super worried by most things. But you definitely can have some issues with him, especially if your cold resistances aren't up to snuff. Alright, there's a few semi-fancy, I'm going to call them, chests at the back here. So I'm going to hit those, and then we are going back into this little tomb. Now this section has a ton of bleeding damage, so if your bleeding resistance rather is quite low, you may want to skip this one. Like I said, this devotion shrine in here is quite expensive, and if your bleed resist is very low, there's a good chance you're going to die in here. Every one of these ghouls will leave, or at least the yellow ones, leave that blood pool on the floor. Loot in the wall here, always fun. Bleeding pools kind of hurt. I mean, my health is going down even with almost capped, well, 72% bleeding resist, so definitely can die to it. The real threat in here, however, is just about a screen and a half away. I'm gonna grab the loot, because loot. Okay, it's not Havel, is it? What's his name? What's your name? You there. What's your name? Nakrathan. Alright, he's going to throw meteors at you. Don't stand in the meteors. Ask me why. Ask me how I know why. Or he's just going to die before he does it, which is also fine. But yes, those meteors have not actually killed me, but it was a close thing. Alright, Wayward Soul. I wanna mention this because this is really good. So Wayward Soul here, as you level it up, it's going to get a reduction in the skill recharge to the point where at max level, it's going to be 8-second recharge and 5-second duration. And you get a heal every 8 seconds-ish. And then also you will have a bunch of extra armor. This got buffed in the 1.2.1 patch, and it is really, really good. Right, Ancient Heart, like I said, kind of rare, but devotion points are also kind of good. So we're going to take that, and then always take the proc first, or at least almost always take the proc first, just to get it leveling. And we'll take this one next, which is going to be pretty good. Once I've got that, I can reclaim this point, and then probably go for the Vulture next. Okay, we are done here, so let's head back to... You know what, we'll go turn the Kymon quest in first. So, Kymon's idiots here. If you go to the wrong camp, and I've done this before because I used to just choose Death's Vigil by default. I would never do Kymon's Chosen. So the first time I actually sided with Kymon's Chosen, I just went to the Death's Vigil side out of habit, and they will attack you. Fortunately, they're really weak. Ooh. A blueprint reward that I don't already have. That doesn't happen every day. Okay, I'm done with this madness. I'm not going into the chthonic areas, so we're going to leave that there. Juggernaut is really, really good. Now, we can't use that with this build because we're using our relic in order to dual wield. But if you're playing a soldier on hardcore, this is the hardcore soldier leveling relic. And even if you're not playing a soldier, this is still pretty good. That heal with the extra regen is pretty much going to be up constantly. As long as you're being attacked, you will have that regen, and the heal will be going off fairly regularly. It's very, very strong. And if you happen to be playing a soldier, it's +1 to all your skill points as well. Alright, so we've got Commander Lucius, we've got the supplies, we've got pretty much nothing else at this point. So, let's go do the Fort Ikon Armory. Just check that I've still got all my Wind Devils and stuff. Just kidding. Alright, that's 4 points. I'm 4 points up. I've probably done something stupid in this video to make me lose a point, but I didn't notice it yet. So point it out in the comments if you did notice something. But so far, I think I'm doing alright. Alright, Flesh Warped Cask is pretty good if you're playing a battle mage, but otherwise kind of whatever. Now I'm going to clear these out now, for no reason at all. We'd probably end up killing them on the way out otherwise, but I'm just going to do it now. There we go. Let's go in. Now, the boss of this area is Lucius, and he does a ton of Aether damage. So if your Aether res isn't sort of 50% or higher, I would recommend going to get a potion. If you drink the potion and your Aether resist is still not 50% or higher, cross your fingers and your legs and your eyes and anything else you can, because you're probably going to need some luck. Granted, this is still the tutorial of the game, really. But, yeah. Yeah, Lucius hurts with no Aether resistance. Potentially one-shot material, actually. If you don't have Aether resist, his Meteor Shower thing can absolutely shotgun you. Alright, let's skip a lot of this stuff now. Now, I'm already level 44, and generally speaking on Veteran, I would be killing the Logorian a level or two ago. Because we went to Forgotten Gods, though, we're a little bit in front. Not the end of the world, that'll kind of reset itself once we head to Ultimate. But for now, we're a little bit in front of where I normally would be. Okay, rank 2 for the Tortoise should be 600 now, 700, okay. And the recharge is coming down as well, so like I said, important to get that leveling early. Probably should have taken it a little bit before I did, but Wayward Soul is just so good now. It's hard to say no to it. Okay, Cam Ladris, I think. Died a little bit too quick for me to really notice the name. This little area here, you can see there's monsters in there. You can actually get in there by bashing this wall down. I almost never go in there. I don't know why, because generally I really enjoy going into the secret areas and getting all the loot out of them. But this one I always skip, and I don't have a good reason for it. Okay, here's the door to Lucius. This is very important. The rest, yeah, kind of not so much. So he's going to do a flamethrower type attack where he waves a green mist at you. He's going to shoot energy balls at you. All of this is Aether damage. And then he's going to cast a Meteor Swarm on you. The Meteor Swarm, I'm pretty sure, sunders. And if you get hit by all of it, you're dead. Probably. I'm kind of tempted to test that, but also I don't want to die, so I think I will dodge it. Alright, there's the meatballs he's shooting at me. There's the fly spray. I'm gonna run away. I think he's dead anyway. That absolutely does sunder. But you probably kill him before he does it. Lucius's blade arm, I really should make a build with that. It's kind of cool. Has that airstrike proc, it's all Aether damage. Reckless power, death sentence, lightning tether. Yeah, this is definitely a battle mage Aether weapon, but anyway, not for this character. Alright, so we got the supplies, we killed Lucius, took all his stuff, and we're done here. So let's go do a bunch of turn-ins. Now, one thing I will note as well, where is the journal active quests, and we want trail at Fort Ikon. No. Precious resources. So you can deliver the supplies to either Black Legion or Homestead. Whichever one you deliver them to will like you a bit more, and whichever one you don't deliver them to will like you a bit less. And I really, really, really want to get Black Legion augments, and so I'm going to deliver them to Black Legion pretty much 99 times out of 100. But it is up to you. And realistically, it doesn't really matter that much. Alright, so Inquisitor Creed, what do you need me? I will head to the Necropolis at once. And here's your supplies. So you'll need note here, plus 500 for Black Legion, minus 250 for Homestead. Got some scrap, got an extra inventory bag. Happy days. I really should keep all my junk in the first tab, so as I don't have to move it every single time I get a new bag. But also, I've been doing that for so long now that it's probably just gonna keep happening. Okay, what do we got? Insulating of the Wild. No. But also, armor upgrades are available on the belt now, which is definitely something I want. Alright, let's go for a run up the, well, not really up the coast. Oh. Captain Reeves here. Alright. So there's a whole other quest, or a whole other faction in here that we're about to meet. And ordinarily I would say just go in here, talk to the witch, tell her you're not going to kill her, and then pretend she doesn't exist. Because if you do her quests, you lose a decent chunk of reputation with the Black Legion. You do gain, actually, a lot of XP by doing her quests. But you lose that Black Legion rep, and to me the Black Legion rep is very, very important. So I generally don't do her quests. Also, she will level up reputation by killing Ethereals or by killing Chthonics. So you can just tell her you're not going to kill her, which is effectively siding with her, and she becomes a friendly faction. And then by the time you're finished with Ultimate, she just kind of loves you because you've killed a ton of Ethereals and you've killed a ton of Chthonics. And you don't have to do her quest to get to Revered. But I don't need any of her stuff, so she's gonna die this time. And the reason why is she has a couple of good augments and nothing else that I want. And her augments are kind of... I'm gonna call them power crept, because the Forgotten Gods factions exist. And the Forgotten Gods augments, generally speaking, make Anasteria the Outcast that is, and Kymon's Chosen and Death's Vigil, they make those choices kind of irrelevant. So it's kind of good, but also it just doesn't matter if you side with her or not. She doesn't have anything that's worth going out of your way to get. And I kind of want to kill her. Because now I get to tell Captain Reeve that she's dead, and I get 1,000 Black Legion reputation. Even though the Inquisitor over here, who represents the Black Legion, really doesn't want her dead. Anyway, let's go ahead and deal with the cultist. Now, this is the Kymon, not Kymon, what is it? The Tomb of Korvac. It's a quest to go in there and get to the back and kill the... what is it? It's some sort of ghoul or something is guarding the tomb, and then the tomb has a quest item. But the really good part about this is I'm getting paid extra XP and reputation to go in here and farm Chthonic Seals of Binding. Because that's kind of what I'm really here to do. I know I said I'm coming in here to get this quest item for you guys, but actually, the real quest item is all those Chthonic Seals. I don't know what it is about this place, but they drop like candy here, and they don't really drop like candy in a lot of other areas that are full of cultists. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm not complaining, because you know Xantai would nerf them here rather than buffing them everywhere else. So we just don't tell him, and we keep farming our Chthonic Seals. You can absolutely not do this. The uses for Chthonic Seals are many, but you will get a decent amount of them just playing through the game. I like to farm them just so I don't have to go find, or don't have to go farm them later. Because there's going to be a relic or something that I want, and it's going to need 12 of these. I think it's also on the Prismatic Diamond, which I'm going to want. In fact, I think the Prismatic Diamond needs 12 of them because you need an Arcane Spark, which I think is where the 12 comes from. I have 12 in my head as a number of Chthonic Seals of Binding that I want for most characters, and I'm pretty sure it's for the Prismatic Diamond. But I just kind of want them. So I'm going to run through here. It's a quest. I'm not farming, it's a quest. So I'll run through here, get as many as I can, and then we'll be on our way. And then later on when I need 12 or however many it actually is, I've already got some. Okay, I am absolutely going back for this, by the way. Only a Forsaken, weak. Okay, we turn the loot off, and let's go ahead and kill these idiots. There we go, what do we get? Ranger's Cask, who cares? Glyph of the Elusive, who cares? Cerulean Shard. That's not horrible, actually, looking at it. The Lightning Nova proc on an amulet is pretty good. What do we got? It's on attack too. Ooh. Ooh. Do I just use this? I might actually use that. I don't usually use a lot of blue items during the campaign. But this could be good. Do I need that elemental resistance? No. No, I don't. I would lose +1 to all Oathkeeper skills, which would lose me 1% shredding. Which I don't love, would also lose me some stuff. I mean, other stuff. You know what? I think I want to do it. Okay, let's go ahead and swap that over. I probably should keep the Bolvar amulet. But the number of times I find a good amulet that fits a build that isn't just one of those green +1 skill amulets is crazy high. So yeah, we're going to go with this one with the Lightning Nova. And I'll see how it is. You can always just go and, just go and kill Bolvar again, get a better amulet. Okay. That's 5 for me. I'm very surprised that I noticed that. Maybe I'm finally getting good at this game. Alright, let's keep going. There's the Lightning Nova's going off. Another seal. Love to see it. What are we up to now? 7, I think? 7 on one run through here. I think the most I've ever had was 13 or 17, but it's potentially a lot in here. get the loot that's hiding in the wall because, well, because loot. And then we can come over here. I think this is the way you go in. And we are looking for a hidden area in here. So the quest just says, I'll return to Captain Reeve. Okay, so we're pretty much done. Why do I have the feeling that there's another part to this quest? That's fine. Just gonna go through here, kill off all the ghouls. Where's old mate? Where are you? There he is. Havel the Earthshaker. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to evade a meteor swarm here. Not today, we just killed him, so that's always fun. Alright, and just go through and kill off a lot of this other stuff as well. That's probably fine. Okay, so there is a hidden switch somewhere in here. Where are we? It's one of these, isn't it? I have a feeling it had something to do with this being lit, or not lit. Maybe that you need the quest to get in here as well. Which I thought I had the quest, but anyway. I think it's this one. Alright, I guess this counts as me making mistakes. Let's go turn this in and see if he sends us back. I have a feeling he won't, but yeah, we'll see. So Captain Reeve's here. Cultists are dead. Alright. And Spellbreaker Moira doesn't like us enough yet. That's fine. Level 45 is good to go, which means we are now capped on Raging Tempest. We have minus 30% from the Whirly Boys, and then minus 25 from the Golden Boys? I don't know what to call them. And I think we pretty much just chuck the rest of the points in here. I do want 1 point in Maelstrom. I do want to get Stormcaller's Pact. And then after that, probably Mogdrogan's Line. A little bit on Presence of Virtue. Although, to be fair, Presence of Virtue is not anywhere near as good as Mogdrogan. Probably want Ascension at some point as well. But that's going to be for later. Speaking of later, that's going to be the end of this episode. So I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And goodbye for now.